How do you have concept photos looking like works of art, and then have your album packaging look like this?
Oh my god! I thought this was a classy party.
LE SSERAFIM has their comeback Unforgiven on May 1st, and recently they released the album details for pre-orders. And many people were confused to say the least. Just want to know the thought process behind this, like genuinely. I know they might want to keep the theme of the primary colors going like with the previous album. But did they really have to do this with it and add such a questionable brown color to it? You have 6 gorgeous members in your group, the budget of HYBE, and you decide to come up with this dirt-smudged looking cover. I think it's meant to look like burn marks from a lighter connecting back to the bloody rose concept. I hope so anyway. I see the thought was there, but I just think the execution of the ideas didn't do so well. I get their concept is all about minimalism, sleek high fashion. But that's the problem to me, especially about a lot of K-pop album packaging lately. Everything is becoming very minimalist. To the point where it's no longer clean, simple yet creative looking. They're all becoming a blatant practical joke. Very obviously no thoughts behind it. Just something pulled together and calling it a day. And I often find it's always the bigger companies that do this, because they know the group's fans will buy anything you slap a group's name to, no matter how ugly the merch is. Let me show you physical albums that have been released lately and how painfully boring they look. Knowing people got paid to create these covers hurts my head. Like, have companies banned these designers to include anything but the album title and some color gradient background. As a past art and design student and just very creative person in general, this is so frustrating. I know these companies can do so much better. Personally, I prefer having pictures on the cover of an album, not just a group shot of members stood together. I mean using the pictures in a creative aesthetic way, taking shots from the MV or concept photos. There's just something I really like about how it looks. Let me show you some examples, and I'm including some non-K-pop albums just so you get a better picture of what I mean. Along with full pictures or pictures incorporated. I do like certain typography and graphic design covers, for example. So it's clearly not hard to make a decent looking album cover. And I can understand if simplicity is the style and aesthetic a group may follow with, as their brand or concept for their comeback, but I feel like there's a line within minimalism of the supposed work of art lacking so much creativity, vision and thought. The terms minimal and simplistic is just a cover-up to hide the fact you were simply lazy and clearly do not care for the work you are creating. Part of K-pop culture is the merchandise. It's known for its different types of physical albums that only this genre of music does. It somewhat represents what K-pop is in a way, and having these half-assed albums with the logo just slapped on it is embarrassing. K-pop is unique. It's loud, it's fun and colorful. I want to see that being represented and shown off more. The way all these recent physical releases have been going makes me worry for future albums to come. In the recent years we've seen, particularly in the West, minimalism has been trending within the fashion and art world. K-pop is no stranger to hopping on these trends, as companies continue to push their artists to be more international focused. And if you look at many physical CD cases from Western artists, most of the time the cover is very mundane, either just a picture of the artist or some typography. I wonder if K-pop companies are trying to replicate this, in hopes of reaching new audiences in the process, and come off as more appealing to the American audience companies are so badly wanted to impress nowadays. Luckily though, not every group goes down the route of color and text. There's some amazing album designs being released still. And sticking with the fun roots of what K-pop is. I hope this continues on, and for the bigger companies to not be afraid of adding a bit more to album covers.